Welcome everyone to Breakthrough Leadership, where you learn to live with passion, pursue your purpose, and become the leader you were created to be. I'm Matt DeYoung.
I'm Greg Yates.
And we're so happy you're here today because today's episode in this Breakthrough Leadership blog is called How to Identify Your Common Enemy. And so we're excited to go through this today, but I think in order to understand what are we talking about when we discuss common enemy, it would really help to kind of just give an example or a story, Greg.
Yeah, everybody's had these examples happen. We just don't realize they're happening to us, Matt. We think we are dealing with issues that are really critical, really important. I remember a very specific time early in my business life when we had an employee who was important to the business, but had become the center of attention in almost every conversation, every drama that was happening. This guy's name was always being brought up. I mean, it became such a distraction to everything we were doing that I finally decided, well, the only solution is to terminate this individual, right? If they're gone, then we'll be on track. We'll be on mission. But what I learned was, Matt, that if you need an excuse, any old excuse will do. And if you need a common enemy, any old enemy will do. I terminated the individual, and guess what? I thought we'd be free to go out and achieve our mission. Nothing changed. Yeah. Nothing changed. The drama was there. It just found another outlet. So what I thought was an enemy, and this is true so often in our business, wasn't really the enemy at all. The enemy was a little deeper. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, so what happens is you defeat one enemy only to find out it's not really the problem. It's not what's standing in your way of you and your mission. So if you're finding yourself as a leader kind of distracted or focused on one thing in a hyper-focused kind of way, what could you do to stay on point with the mission? And I think we have three things that we could talk about today. And the first thing, I just love this. We're calling it the missional lens. What's the missional lens?
Yeah, too often, Matt, we get distracted. You've heard the rabbit trail analogy, right? We run down rabbit trails, and we maybe feel good that day. We got something done, etc. But did we use the missional lens? That's the number one point today. Were we looking through the lens of our mission? Or was it just a momentary frustration? If you know your mission, then everything else is just a distraction. And until we're able to filter it, Matt, through the lens of the missional lens, then we're not going to identify the common enemy.
So we're literally talking about taking the current situation, filtering it through our lens, filtering it through the mission, using that as our lens so we can evaluate, is this the mission or the moment?
Right.
And then the second thing, so that's missional lens. The second thing is missional language. How do we prevent the wrong enemy through missional language?
Yeah, you got to train your ear on this one. And it's so obvious once you do that. Anytime somebody's using words like them and us, or they and we, anytime there's a separation, a division that's occurring inside your organization, inside your team, you know that you're not identifying the common enemy, you're identifying one more distraction. You got to listen for the missional language.
Yeah, so I love this one key word that you said there, which is anytime.
Anytime.
Anytime it's us versus them instead of we together working.
Right, yeah. If we either win together or we don't win at all.
I love that rule.
In business.
Love that rule. So that's the first two things was missional lens, missional language, and then the last one is missional trend. Now you got to explain this one a little bit.
Yeah, the missional trend. I love the analogy. I wish we could just visualize it this easy in our day-to-day leadership, where you're looking at like a stock chart. And you look at the overall trend, but within that trend, there are moments when things are moving against you. And it's so easy, if we're not careful to look at the missional trend, then we're going to, every time we encounter resistance, we're going to see that as the true enemy, not just a momentary distraction. Every business owner has felt at times, maybe even said it out loud, yeah, my job is just putting out fires.
Absolutely.
Well, the reality is that when we live in the moment, we're putting out fires, we forget about the missional lens, we forget about missional language, and we forget about the missional trend. The point is you won't win every moment or in every day. Your common enemy is the enemy of the trend.
That's right.
You can't allow the enemies of the trend to prevail.
So if we zoom in too much, we might not see the bigger picture. We want to zoom out And so we had those 3 things for you guys today, which is the missional lens, the missional language, and the missional trend. Hope that helps you. But here's the thing, and we want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, but if you'd like to learn how to identify your common enemy, Greg, what's the one challenge you would give everybody today?
You know, Matt, it's easy. The challenge to every leader today is don't get caught up fighting any old enemy, because any old enemy won't do. You have to fight for your mission. You have to fight against distraction, because that's what everything else is. Anything that's not your mission is just a distraction.
That's so great. And what we love for you to do right now is join in on the conversation. We'd love to hear from you. That's some of the best parts about being on YouTube here and sharing this video with you. So let us know in the comments below, what are some of the common enemies that you find yourself fighting and even being distracted with? We would love to hear that. It would be amazing. So of course, the best conversations happen over at our website, Greg, which is morethanbreakthrough.com. Come over there and comment now. And by the way, if you're not already on our email list, subscribe, and Greg and I will send you some materials on leadership, some resources, ebooks, all kinds of stuff that we don't share anywhere else. Until the next time, live with passion, unlock your purpose, and become the leader that you were created